Opening the load side of a variable frequency drive, or VFD, while it is in operation can create a dangerous situation for both the equipment and personnel. The primary reason is the generation of large voltage spikes. These voltage spikes occur because of the rapid change in current flow when the load circuit is interrupted. Here is a breakdown of why this happens. First, understanding the role of a VFD is crucial. A VFD controls the speed of an alternating current motor by varying the frequency and voltage supplied to the motor. This is typically achieved through a rectifier stage, an intermediate direct current bus, and an inverter stage. The inverter stage uses insulated gate bipolar transistors, or IGBTs, to switch the direct current voltage on and off rapidly, creating a simulated alternating current waveform at the desired frequency. Secondly, when the load side of the VFD is opened, the current flowing to the motor is abruptly stopped. The motor windings are inductive, meaning they resist changes in current. This sudden interruption of current causes a rapid collapse of the magnetic field in the motor windings. Thirdly, according to Faraday's law of induction, a changing magnetic field induces a voltage in a conductor. The faster the change in the magnetic field, the higher the induced voltage. In this scenario, the rapid collapse of the magnetic field in the motor windings generates a large voltage spike. Fourthly, this voltage spike can be significantly higher than the normal operating voltage of the VFD and the motor. The magnitude of the voltage spike depends on several factors, including the motor inductance, the speed of the current interruption, and the characteristics of the VFD. Fifthly, these voltage spikes can have several detrimental effects. One major concern is the breakdown of the motor insulation. The insulation in the motor windings is designed to withstand a certain voltage level. When a voltage spike exceeds this level, it can cause the insulation to break down, creating a short circuit within the motor windings. This short circuit can lead to motor failure. Sixthly, the voltage spikes can also damage the insulated gate bipolar transistors, or IGBTs, in the VFD inverter stage. The insulated gate bipolar transistors, or IGBTs, are sensitive electronic components that are vulnerable to overvoltage conditions. A large voltage spike can exceed their voltage rating, causing them to fail. Seventhly, in addition to damaging the motor and the VFD, the voltage spikes can also create electromagnetic interference, or EMI, that can disrupt other electronic equipment in the vicinity. The rapid change in current generates electromagnetic radiation that can interfere with the operation of sensitive electronic devices. Eighthly, to prevent these problems, it is essential to avoid opening the load side of a variable frequency drive, or VFD, while it is operating. If it is necessary to disconnect the motor from the variable frequency drive, or VFD, for maintenance or other reasons, the variable frequency drive, or VFD, should be properly shut down first. Ninthly, the proper shutdown procedure typically involves stopping the variable frequency drive, or VFD, allowing the motor to come to a complete stop, and then disconnecting the power supply to the variable frequency drive, or VFD. This ensures that there is no current flowing to the motor when the load side is disconnected, preventing the generation of voltage spikes. Tenthly, in some cases, it may be necessary to use a bypass circuit to disconnect the variable frequency drive, or VFD, from the motor. A bypass circuit allows the motor to be connected directly to the power line, bypassing the variable frequency drive, or VFD. This can be useful for testing or troubleshooting purposes. However, it is important to ensure that the bypass circuit is properly designed and installed to prevent any damage to the motor or the power system. 11thly, it is also important to use appropriate surge protection devices to protect the variable frequency drive, or VFD, and the motor from voltage spikes. Surge protection devices, or SPDs, are designed to clamp voltage spikes and prevent them from reaching sensitive electronic components. They should be installed at the input and output of the variable frequency drive, or VFD, to provide comprehensive protection. 12thly, regular maintenance and inspection of the variable frequency drive, or VFD, and the motor are also essential to prevent problems. This includes checking the motor insulation for any signs of damage, inspecting the variable frequency drive, or VFD, components for wear and tear, and verifying that the surge protection devices, or SPDs, are functioning properly. 13thly, it is also important to follow the manufacturer's recommendations for the operation and maintenance of the variable frequency drive, or VFD, and the motor. The manufacturer's documentation typically provides detailed information on the proper procedures for starting, stopping, and troubleshooting the equipment. 14thly, when working with variable frequency drives, or VFDs, it is essential to follow all applicable safety precautions. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as safety glasses and gloves, and following lockout/tagout procedures to prevent accidental energization of the equipment. 15thly, working with electrical equipment can be dangerous, and it is important to be aware of the potential hazards. If you are not qualified to work on variable frequency drives, or VFDs, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician or technician. 16thly, understanding the behavior of inductive loads is crucial in electrical systems. Inductors, like motor windings, store energy in a magnetic field. When the current through an inductor is interrupted suddenly, the stored energy must be dissipated. This energy dissipation often manifests as a voltage spike. 17thly, the magnitude of the voltage spike can be estimated using the formula volts equals inductance times the change in current divided by the change in time. This formula highlights the importance of the rate of change of current in determining the voltage spike magnitude. 18thly, in addition to the motor inductance, the wiring between the variable frequency drive, or VFD, and the motor can also contribute to voltage spikes. Long wiring runs can increase the inductance of the circuit, leading to higher voltage spikes. 19thly, to minimize voltage spikes, it is recommended to use shielded cables for the motor wiring. Shielded cables help to reduce electromagnetic interference and can also help to suppress voltage spikes. 20thly, it is also important to ensure that the motor wiring is properly grounded. Grounding provides a path for stray currents to flow back to the source, reducing the risk of voltage spikes and electrical shock. 21stly, the use of line reactors or direct current choke can also help to reduce voltage spikes and improve the performance of the variable frequency drive, or VFD. Line reactors are installed on the input side of the variable frequency drive, or VFD, while direct current chokes are installed in the direct current bus. These devices help to smooth out the current flow and reduce voltage transients. 22ndly, it is important to note that not all voltage spikes are caused by opening the load side of the variable frequency drive, or VFD. Voltage spikes can also be caused by other factors, such as lightning strikes, power surges, and switching transients. 23rdly, in areas that are prone to lightning strikes or power surges, it is essential to use robust surge protection devices, or SPDs, to protect the variable frequency drives, or VFDs, and other sensitive electronic equipment. 24thly, when troubleshooting a variable frequency drive, or VFD, it is important to use a multimeter or oscilloscope to measure the voltage and current waveforms. This can help to identify any voltage spikes or other abnormalities in the circuit. 25thly, it is also important to check the variable frequency drives, or VFDs, fault history for any error codes that may indicate a voltage spike or other problem. Fault history can provide valuable information for diagnosing and resolving the issue. 26thly, in some cases, it may be necessary to replace the insulated gate bipolar transistors, or IGBTs, in the variable frequency drive, or VFD, if they have been damaged by voltage spikes. The insulated gate bipolar transistors, or IGBTs, are typically mounted on a heatsink and can be replaced by a qualified technician. 27thly, it is important to use the correct type of insulated gate bipolar transistor, or IGBT, for the variable frequency drive, or VFD, and to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation and testing. 28thly, after replacing the insulated gate bipolar transistors, or IGBT, it is important to test the variable frequency drive, or VFD, to ensure that it is functioning properly. This can be done by running the motor at various speeds and loads and monitoring the voltage and current waveforms. 29thly, It is also important to check the motor insulation resistance after a voltage spike event to ensure that the insulation has not been damaged. Insulation resistance can be measured using a megometer. 30thly, a low insulation resistance reading indicates that the motor insulation has been compromised and that the motor may need to be replaced or repaired. 31stly, in conclusion, opening the load side of a variable frequency drive, or VFD, while it is operating can create dangerous voltage spikes that can damage the motor, the variable frequency drive, or VFD, and other electronic equipment. It is essential to follow proper shutdown procedures and to use appropriate surge protection devices, or SPDs, to prevent these problems. 32ndly, regular maintenance and inspection are also crucial for ensuring the safe and reliable operation of variable frequency drive, or VFD, systems. 33rdly, always consult with a qualified electrician or technician if you are not comfortable working with variable frequency drives, or VFDs. Understanding the principles behind variable frequency drive, or VFD, operation and the potential hazards associated with them is paramount for anyone working with these systems. 34thly, remember that safety should always be the top priority when working with electrical equipment. 35thly, the information provided is intended for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or technician for specific recommendations regarding your application.